Okay, so my tips for digital painting: use the biggest brush you can. So for something this size, I would use a brush that's at least this big. Even though it's this big, because pressure sensitivity exists, it doesn't always have to be that big. Second tip: use blending when you can. Like stuff like this is what you want. Blending, active blending makes it much easier. And then my general process is to find the background color, but I'm gonna paint the face real quick to give an example. But usually I would find a background color that I would want to use something interesting, something that meshes well with the colors of the character I'm painting. For this painting, when I finish it, I'm probably just gonna do a generic blue sky because she's meant to be at the beach. But yeah, once you have your base colors down, you wanna find some local values, which are some easy local values would be the cheeks, the mouth, the nose, the ears. I didn't even color in the ears. Easy. The actual first step you're meant to do that I forgot about is to decide where the light is coming from, which is up here, let's just say that, in front of her from like top right. Then you kind of just pick the color you want and the lighter color if I can find one. So in this case she's outside, so the light source is the sun, which is orange, so I'm gonna move the skin tone towards orange or yellow and lighten it to get some of the lights in there. Actually I think the skin tone is light enough. Let's go shadow. I'm gonna move it towards blue since the sky is basically like a huge soft box which casts ambient blue light, and if you mix the orange of the skin with the blue of the sky, you get somewhere in between, which is purple. So purple reddish. So that's what I'm gonna use for the shadows. Block that in real quick. Don't forget the ambient occlusion, which is kind of done naturally with the line art, but it's still important. So like where two planes meet should be the darkest. And start like defining some of the forms. Some important ones I find, if you still want to make the character look appealing, is like this part of the nose here. Like the eye socket should be in shadow. Usually the like bottom eyelid looks good when it's in shadow. The eyes, remember the eyes are like balls, so they should be round. What color should the ambient occlusion be? You can just use black, like a blackish color for the ambient occlusion, just like a very dark color. There should be very little, it should take up like very little of your painting. It shouldn't like spread out more than the crevices. Local color, what were you saying the local color for? Sorry, I wasn't reading chat. So yeah, use the shadow to chisel in some basic planes of the face to give it some depth. Before I add light, I give everything their local colors. So the way I would usually do it, so if I were doing a blue background like this, I would get the local color, which is the skin tone, right? And because I have blending, I start painting directly onto the background color, which automatically gives the correct local color for the environment because it blends with the background, right? So this would be the local color I would use. This is basically just gray. This would more or less be like the local color I would use in the final painting, which you'll probably see tomorrow. By local colors as well, I mean like the areas of the face that have a different color, because the face isn't one even tone. There's like some color variation with it. The easiest way to do that is the cheeks, the nose, and the lips, I find. Yes, shadows are more important than the lights usually. So I usually start with the lightest color, or one of the lightest colors, which is what I've noticed, and just work towards the shadow from there. And the brightest highlight on the face should always be in the eyes, so the eyes can be the eyes should have the most contrast in the whole face, maybe even the whole image. I don't know what color this character's eyes are, so I'm just making them blue. See how most of the eyes are this dark color, and then I'll actually pick a straight white for the highlights, and then like draws your eyes to the face. What about the eyes, hair, and eyebrows? What about them? They're basically the same process. Like if I wanted to make a highlight on the nose, I wouldn't make it directly white. I would make it like an off-white with the blending brush. I pick white and paint it in, and it's already this off-white. Same with the lips, I wouldn't make that a direct white either. Also, the irises and the mouth aren't perfect white either. The only perfect white in the whole colored part of the image is the eyes, the highlights on the eyes. Like I said, this is just a quick demo. I'm not going to use this for the final painting. Probably not. So if I had to summarize, let's get rid of this mess over here. Take notes, or you can just screenshot or whatever. Big brush, light source. So in the light source you can put color and ambient. Great handwriting, I know. Forms, and also values. These are the main things you need to keep in mind. Because the thing is, you can pick any color you want. Like Marco Bucci did a good video on this. You can pick any color you want, but as long as the values are correct, the image will look good, which is interesting. And as for the light source, I think this is important if you're trying to pick the correct colors. So for an example, if the ambient light again was blue and the actual light source was yellow, like the sun and the sky, then that's what I would shift the low colors between. So let's say I don't know, that's kind of, this was the local color, light source, I would just shift it towards yellow and brighten that. For the lights, shift towards yellow and brighten, shift towards yellow, brighten. You've noticed that I've conveniently have the color wheel highlighted so you can always see what I'm doing. Shift to yellow, move to light, and then it's the same. Shift towards blue, which in this case is towards red, or towards purple, and move to the dark. Towards blue, and in the dark. It's kind of a foolproof method. It's very simple. I'm probably gonna make this into a VOD, this section, so if you want to look back on it later, it's gonna be there. And for skin specifically, you want to add some reds, some like saturated reds in between the lights and the darks as subsurface scattering. And then there would be some bounce light from the blue. Yeah, so that's just a very basic painting stuff that I recommend. This was very quick and haphazard, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'll label these in case you want to take another screenshot. Ambient, source, local. So these should be the main two things affecting the color you pick. So you can replace these with basically any colors. You can like switch them around. You can make the source blue and the ambient yellow. The ambient could be red. For example, I recommend just experimenting. That being said, I think it's time to end the stream. Again, I'm gonna make this section into a VOD most likely in case you wanna look back on it. But yeah, let me see if I can find someone to host.